love from the Georgia fans. Herschel Walker here.
Hello, guys.
On SEC Nation.
Legend.
82
Legend.
Heisman winner. 25 years later on his anniversary, this guy wins the Heisman Trophy. So he gave the speech.
And he gave an amazing speech. It was so inspirational. I was like, I got to do something. I got to work out or something afterwards. It was incredible.
Well, thank you.
And then last night, honorary captain for this Bama game.
Yes.
So you gave the talk to the team. What'd you say?
Well, one thing I want to tell them is I said, guys, you know, the weather. Everyone's thinking about the weather, but this is not about the weather. This is about playing football. And I try to tell them, I said, God is not rooting for Alabama. He's not rooting for Georgia, but he's rooting for you. So what you got to do is you got to man up. It is time to man up, and Georgia got a good opportunity right now. But I think Alabama is looking at the same opportunity, so they got to get out there and play.
Herschel, we got a segment every week here on SEC Nation. We like the workout warriors. We like the physical guys. We call it the Freak of the Week. You would have been the Freak of the Century. We would have had to retire the entire segment if we had SEC. Still, right now. Freak of the Century right now. But it is time for Freak of the Week, Timmy.
Oh, I'm just too humble to even present right now in front of Herschel Walker. This is ridiculous, but it is a big-time honor because this is the first time that we've ever had a two-time winner of the Freak of the Week. Why? Because Nick Chubb is absolutely a freak. At 5'10", 220 pounds, Nick Chubb can squat 600 pounds. He can clean 345 pounds, and he can bench 425 pounds. Oh, yeah, and also, by the way, he can also run a 4.4. And every time he touches the ball, he averages 8.5 yards per carry. But the impressive thing, Marcus, every time he touches the ball, he averages 3 yards after contact. That is ridiculous, and that is why he is the first ever repeat Freak of the Week.
That's super freaky. That is super freaky.
Nick Chubb is one game away from breaking Herschel's school record of 12 straight games with 100 yards. But we know Herschel's streak should be 13 because he had 150 in the bowl game in the Sugar Bowl against Notre Dame, but the NCAA wasn't counting bowl stats back then.
Well, we're going to count it, Herschel.
But we're going to count it.
Yeah, we're going to count
Put it down.
Herschel, with your critical eye of a running back, what makes Nick Chubb special?
You know, what makes him special, he's a great person. You know, a football player to me is more than just a guy that can play on the field. This guy's a great leader, even though he doesn't speak that much in the huddle. But when he's out at practice, you watch what he does. And I think that speaks volume. And then when he gets into a game, you see the guy, he runs, he does whatever he's going to do. And I think what makes him better is to have Michelle backing him up. You know, you got another guy that he can go out of the game, another guy coming in, and he's going to step in, and those guys get motivated to play.
Like we talk about being the Freak of the Week and being strong and being fast and having vision and all these things as a running back. What is the most important character trait to be a great running back?
I think to be a great running back, you got to have attitude. And I tell running backs all the time, you got to have attitudes. Well, most of the time, you're going to have to hit guys that's bigger than you. You got to hit those linebackers. And you got to have an attitude that you're going to hit them, and that you're going to make them quit. Because, you know, I tell guys all the time, this is football. It's not a game for babies. It's a game. It's a very physical game, and you got to go out and play it like that. That's the way Nick Chubb played the game. You see, he's not afraid of contact. He's going to run the ball as hard the first beginning of the game to the end of the game, and that's what you got to do.
Herschel, you talked last week about, or earlier this week, about the running back position is back being on display. And you talked about Leonard Fournette, I'm an LSU guy, and you said he was better than you. Where does that come from? Like, what has he shown you to give him that honor? Because you know when peers say that stuff, it matters to us as players. So where did that come from?
Well, where that come from is I said also that Nick Chubb and I think Henry is better than I am because the 3 games that they played, they got more yards than I had the 3 games that I played, so they are better than me right now.
Yeah, but there are 7 or 8 guys in the box against them. There was 11 guys in the box against you.
And, you know,
Hey, let me interrupt you.
yes.
Because I've covered your entire career.
Yes.
I've covered the SEC for 150 years. You're the best player I have ever seen. You're in the top 3. Bo Jackson's number 2.
See, I like
Leonard
him.
Leonard Fournette is not better than you. So let's start over again.
What we want to do is we want to say that, you know, right now, I think the game has changed a little bit. You got guys that are bigger, they're faster. And I said, during my time, I was okay. But you talked about years ago.
Okay.
But now at this time here, you got some great running backs. And, you know, Leonard, he's a good running back.
Herschel, one thing that I would say to rebut that, though, is that when you were playing running back, it was a running league. It was a running game. People won Super Bowls and championships because they had the ability to run the football. So going into the game, people knew you were going to get the football.
Yes.
Now these guys with spread offenses, defensive coordinators have to prepare for so many different things. I give you the edge because you were the sole focus. I know you would have been the sole focus in my D-line room if we were playing against you.
I think that's the difference right there is I said right now, those 3 bikes are some of the top in college football. But you got to remember that this is a different game, is what I was saying. When I played, you were running the ball. As of today, guys are having to do a little bit less, and I'm glad to see them out there doing it. And let me say something about Nick Chubb that people have forgot. This is a guy that was at Georgia when Gurley was here. Everyone thought Gurley was the guy. This guy waited in the wings. So I think for all the young people out there, they can see that your time would come when you get the minute.
I'm going to interrupt you again. Let's just calmly go over this.
Yes.
Repeat after me. I'm the best running back in SEC history, because you are, and I know you're humble. I talked to Vince Dooley last night, but I'm really baffled because I still think you could play today, couldn't you?
Oh, that's not a doubt in my mind. I can play today. That's one thing I will say. Herschel Walker is no doubt. If you want to compete against me, I will put you down, and I'll put you down today.
The man has spoken.